Top of the morning, guys. Bucks and Brew, Ohio State football, Scarlet and Great. We are here 12 days until Buckeyes football. Talking a little bit of QB battle here. This QB battle is certainly heating up. And you guys went a little nuts, it looks like, on Twitter this weekend. You can always follow me there at Scarlet Great JL. We're going to break that down, talk about the Buckeyes quarterback battle. Who's saying what's going where, who's starting, who's not, the reasoning why. So we didn't get into all that. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's funny some of the directions that this Twitter battle has went. And there's a Twitter battle, it seems, in an actual QB battle, and they're not actually related. 12 days, guys, till Buckeye football. We'd like to get simple task, 12 days till Buckeye football, 12 new subs. I think we're at 5,950 right now, 5,950. Give us 12. That equals 800. No, sorry. 5,950. Give us 12. 5,962. Easy task for Buckeye Nation because we're going to be bringing you free Buckeye content all season long. All right. So we got two great options here with this quarterback battle. There's no losers, right? I want to be clear and talk about that first and foremost. I think that we can quickly start choosing sides. Now, I guess I've kind of looked like I've done that too because I've been very adamant, and I think everybody in this channel has, that it's going to be Kyle McCord. I know there's information from other podcasts out there saying it's going to be Devin Brown. I don't want this to be an, my guy versus your guy thing because, at the end of the day, we just want Buckeyes to do well. And what it's going to be, if the guy you pick doesn't start, what are you going to do? You're going to end up like not rooting for the guy who does start and then asking for him to get benched anytime he makes mistakes. And both guys are going to make mistakes, right? I mean, neither one of them have started at Ohio State before, save McCord for one game, okay? So let's think that through. Even if I am wrong, which I don't think I am, but even if I am wrong and Devin Brown ends up being the starter, I need to stop and say, okay, well, then he's clearly really good, right? He had a lot to overcome. McCord's been there longer. He was injured in the spring, so McCord can kind of pull away even more. And you think about, McCord jumped Jack Miller when he was here and jumped in line to get up to the second string. He was the one called to start when CJ went down with that shoulder injury a couple years back. So you see, if Devin overcomes all that, then he's really, really good. And that's great for Buckeyes. The Buckeyes. All right. And then the flip side, if all you guys that are pro Devin, team Devin, if he's that good and Kyle beat him out, then Kyle's pretty good, right? Like, let's think this through. We're Buckeyes here. Let me ask you a serious question. Your team McCord, but Devin Brown's the key to beating Michigan. Okay, you want Devin. Your team Devin, but Kyle's the key to beating Michigan. Okay, you want Kyle. We see how that works. So let's just make sure that this doesn't get toxic. I want to jump into a few scenarios, few things that we're talking about here on Buckeye Nation, going back and forth and saying, I guess these statements that get thrown out there, these blanket statements that I don't think necessarily are true. First of all, they say things like, well, Ryan Day is not picking a starter. No guy can pull away from each other. I'm really tired this morning, or else I would stand on the desk to tell you this. Listen, when there's not an incumbent starter, you do not name the guy until like today or tomorrow. Look at when Justin Fields was named. It was like this date a couple years ago when the first game was the same game date as what we have this year. He was battling Chris Chugginoff. Matt Baldwin, maybe. I don't know. Come on, guys. it's not like you're letting them battle. They're battling it out. If you name them at the beginning of camp, what would you say? Oh, just Urban Meyer favoritism. That's what you guys would say. Oh, he just letting the older guy play. No, we didn't really battle. We got to battle and make our guys better. That's what they're doing. No, but it's not in a bit. For all you know, you guys don't know. You don't watch practice. I don't either. For all we know, there isn't a battle. Matter of fact, I was told a couple weeks ago, not by anyone who, they weren't like in the program or, weren't family in the program or anything, but someone told me, hey, it's not much of a battle right now. Kyle's that far ahead. Okay. But nobody was named a starter. Why? Because he let them go through the process. So, the other thing is a lot of people just say McCord flat sucks. Well, if he sucks, why is it taking Devin so long to beat him out? You could do the flip side. Why isn't Day named a starter? If McCord sucks that bad, why is Devin having so much trouble beating him out? Right? So you kind of need to go through the progression and see this is routine. There may have been a guy ahead the whole time. It may be neck and neck. You wouldn't know. I personally think that it's not super close. I do think this is the little bit of truth in the headlines that Devin's been pushing Kyle more lately. I would imagine at the beginning of camp, Devin coming off of injury, et cetera, it only would make good sense that it really wasn't much of a battle. That Kyle was very far ahead. And as Devin gets more reps and splits reps with some ones and continues to get better and better, that he does close the gap somewhat. But the gap can still certainly be there. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Get your coffee, have a good day, and relax, and let's breathe this in and think about this. So Devin might be closing a gap because the gap could have been very substantial, and good on him. I think he's a really good player. He's super athletic, big arm. Kyle, same thing. I think one thing that's funny about the headline out there that Devin is so much more athletic. I don't know who beats who in a sprint. It might be Devin. Devin does look like his feet just kind of chop a little quicker and he scrambles a little quicker. There's a clip out there. This is how I know both quarterbacks are really athletic. There's a clip out there of Devin windmill dunking, just messing around, just running up windmill dunk. Look, as a former basketball player, I understand how difficult that is. Devin's 3-4 inches taller than me, but I've never been able to do that. I will say that, but Kyle's athletic too, man. Kyle can move. He may not, he's not Braxton, neither of them are, but he can move. Kyle's been dunking a basketball for a long time. Okay. So you look at both guys. Okay. You have some athleticism there with 6'3" guys, 6'3.5", 6'4", 218, 220. You got some strong guys. These are good athletic dudes that are both going to do well. So again, two great option here. I'm interested in your comments, your thoughts, who you guys think, because I read these things. Some things seem intelligent, some do not. But I like that we get to get going and everything, get the conversation churned up. So we have that. We have the headlines that one guy sucks and another doesn't. I'm like, well, then why if Kyle sucks, and why is it Devin just beat him out? I think that from everything I can tell, and I get some good and bad info flowing in and out, I think it's going to be Kyle. But if Devin wins, that means he's really stinking good. That's just what it means. And if Kyle beats a guy that's so great and athletic, it can windmill dunk, that means he's really good. And then you see dumb reports out there like, oh, Devin's going to win a Heisman this year, but he won't start game one. So you think Ryan Day's an idiot? You think Ryan Day's an idiot? You think he's got a Heisman Trophy winner? He looks at him and goes, you think Kyle sucks and Devin's gonna win a Heisman, and Ryan Day sees that too. he sees a lot more than you do. And he specializes in this. And he sees that and he goes, I'd like to pick the guy that sucks. Like, come on, guys. You can't possibly believe. You don't believe that, do you? You can't be that foolish. You can't actually believe that, can you? I mean, I guess you could. But now that I've explained it to you, there's no way you can believe that, right? So we saw the Buckeye fans go nuts a little bit on Twitter. I get off the water from fishing a little bit on Saturday evening, and it just, my phone, it just, Devin Brown posted a picture huddling with the twos and a few of the one. He says, he says he's with his tribe. He must be the starter. And it was like, and then Bucknuts comes out and says, oh, it's trending towards Devin Brown. Like, based off of what, guys? Like, seriously, we know there was a scrimmage on Saturday, but like, what's your information here? You know what I mean? Devin Brown shows pictures with the backups. They're splitting reps. It does not prove anything. He posts a picture. Oh, it's the timing. Yeah, maybe the media team's like, hey, Dev, here's some cool pictures we got of you guys during spring practice, during the scrimmage today. Or not spring practice, excuse me, during the scrimmage today. Oh, let me post this on my Instagram. That's pretty cool. Good pictures. Good job, guys. It doesn't need to mean what you think it means, right? And if it did, do you think the team, that Ryan Day and the team have been very good at holding their cards close to their chest on this? Do you think that they would just like let him go do that? Hey, go ahead. Hey, Devin, go ahead and do a cryptic message about how you're probably going to be the starter. Come on, guys. Let's think about this. I mean, it nearly broke Twitter thinking that this is the way it's going to go. A lot of people, you're digging your heels in so far, you're going to have to walk some things back. And the other thing is, this is what I know a lot of you are going to do. If Kyle's named the starter, you're going to, politics and seniority and Devin was better. You don't know. You weren't there at practice. And whoever's telling you these things doesn't know either. They weren't there either. They got it wrong, guys. So, in flip side, if Devin's a starter, it's a really good chance somebody told me something wrong. But what you're going to end up doing is now when whoever's named the starter, you're going to think, if it's not your guy, again, you're going to think it's the wrong decision, and you're going to start berating the other guy. I can already see it happen. Let's not let this get toxic. We're all Buckeyes here. We want the best thing. You guys are trying to break the internet over silly stuff. I think we're right there. We're going to know here. I expect us to know later today at the latest, Tuesday. But I think the decision's probably pretty well made. Again, I think it's McCord. If it's Brown, I am very happy for the kid, and I think he is going to do great things if he's overcame what he overcame. It was named the starter. And a lot of you guys are already going to root for McCord to start and already root for him to get benched because you're already kind of saying he's going to start week 1 versus Indiana, but Devin's your Heisman. Well, then you're just going to be like, all right, when are we going to bench him? When are we going to bench him? Every mistake he makes, when are we going to bench him? Not a good recipe. We don't want to turn into Tennessee, right? Don't let the Ohio State fan base turn into the Tennessee fan base. You don't want that. I would like you guys to come back next time. Join me for some coffee tomorrow morning on Bucks and Brew. We'll talk about what's next. I actually have a really, really special guest tomorrow, one who has visited this channel before, and I think it's going to be a good time, one that many of you watch with a much bigger audience than this, somebody that's built something great in football opinion, whom I respect. So come back and see us next time. Have your coffee with us. Have a great day. It's Monday. Maybe double cup of coffee like I'm going to do, maybe a triple. So make sure you get through that case of the Mondays. As always, goodbye. God bless. And go Bucks.